Hello everyone, I am the Kintra Slave here in one of my Minecraft worlds. A little bit of a redstone world going, inspired by a few people, MumboJumbo being one of them. You should check him out. But none of that behind me is particularly interesting. I mean, I think it's interesting because I built it all, but it's not really something to show off to other people. This, on the other hand, is the first build that I'm really proud of enough to make a video about and show people. What this is an item sorting and requesting machine. So this is the selector panel for item requesting, a selector dial, and essentially whatever the arrow here is pointing at is the item that will be requested. So if it is pointing at lapis and we hit the green button here marked 3, we will get 3 lapis in this chest. And if we set it to, say, gold and hit 10, then we will get 10 gold in this middle chest here. Now say we just came back from the mines and we have a ton of diamonds, we have some gold, some lapis we mined up, and we want to put this all in our system store. This chest right here does exactly that. You hear it ticking away, feeding the items up to be sorted. So we have a sorting system on top of the item request system, so we can instantly sort our items into the appropriate chest for us to call them back here. And I'll show you how this works in a minute. Though if you know a little bit of redstone, then you know a little bit how it works. You can probably guess how it works if you already know your redstone. But I'm going to take a look behind this wall and show everyone else. So the main brains of this contraption is this red line right here, this red circuit, which is called a red coder circuit. And what it does is it takes this single comparator output, this one continuous comparator output, and makes it be just one redstone torch output. So instead of all the redstone torches up until this one also being lit, what this red coder circuit does is convert that into just one output, which I have ran into this yellow circuit, and the yellow circuit works together with this light green circuit. And the way I approach this, I know other people have done similar designs to this in other big redstone builds. I'm not sure how they have done it, but the way I approach the problem is I've locked these 2 rows of hoppers with AND gates, and that's how I have interpreted the problem of requesting an item only when both it is selected on the selection panel and when the button is hit to request it. I thought, that kind of sounds like an AND gate, so that's what I went with. The button that gets 10 of the item simply holds the AND gate open for longer via this pulse extender, and the one that only gets 3, just the length of the button press. I think I could improve the green line. I think I could make it just be 1 instead of 3 if I were to make an array, a hopper dropper monostable array. with comparators running into NOT gates, kind of like I have the repeaters running into NOT gates on this side. If I were to put a space here with redstone torches on the side, well, it wouldn't really be a space, but if I were to replace these blocks with redstone torches and then a block on the other side, I think I could improve that to just be one of them, because 3 is a little bit janky, and 3 is just how many items you get from the NOT gate being activated for the length of the button press. So you would have to shorten the pulse of that button in such a way that it unlocks both of these hoppers, and that is, stackable and tileable rather, in this sort of fashion. But I might do some tinkering and see if I can get see if a hopper drop or monostable array will work. The input, the item input to sorting is relatively simple. Get a few stacks of stuff to be sorted. This design for an item elevator, the whole thing's pretty resource intensive if you were to build it in survival, but this is a design that I didn't look up or nothing. Me and a friend were just playing with redstone on a server, and between the two of us messing with this concept here, we came up with this stackable circuit that makes a completely lossless item elevator. When an item is in any of these hoppers, you get an output through this comparator, which goes through this repeater and feeds back into the comparator, which creates a clock. But every time the clock turns on, it powers itself and pushes the item up. Because it's being hard powered, it powers this one and this one at the same time. So it pretty much just shoots the item all the way through into this one. And that's how it can be stacked like this. Right here is the one connected to the chest via this hopper here, and it goes down into the hopper from the chest, and this circuit is self-powering, so it just shoots the item right past this one, right into this one, where it activates again and just shoots it right past this one and into this one, and and it just keeps doing that, because the signal strength running into it on this side will pretty much always be greater than the strength it's pulling from the dropper. The only flaw to this design right here is that if this dropper were to very, very suddenly become completely full, then the circuit would stop, because the output strength of this repeater would go 15, 14, 13. So it's reading it against the 13. So this dropper would have to be get pretty full pretty fast, because as it's filling up, it's going to be activating and spitting its items out. So unless you had the most efficient thing in the world filling this up, it's a pretty safe circuit. It feeds into a pretty standard item sorting array, only I have figured out how to tile the item sorting circuit so that I can have just a solid row of item sorting hoppers, and I've accomplished that by zigzagging the design on either side so that it can fit one block close to each other. And then this other half of the pink circuit here that looks at the pink circuit is looking at these double chests, and the light blue circuit is looking at the single chest on the other side. I had to make it a double chest because I had to move the hopper over one because the hopper was getting locked by the other wiring. But this way it works out so that all the items are sorted. And then of course I have this circuit one more time here to feed into this chest. So it's not compact. It's definitely not hidden. There's a lot of bits of redstone components visible. Even if you were to imagine this wall all the way up, there's like bits and pieces not concealed. But I'm very proud of this, and yeah, this is my first kinda big redstone design. My first redstone design that uses some form of thinking. Like my first semi-complex redstone contraption, and I'm very proud of it. And yeah, that's all.